lawyer of ZALDY CO, Attorney Roy Rondain. Attorney Rondain, good morning to you.
Good morning, Karen. How are you today?
All right. I think first, let's start with where is ZALDY CO? Is he in Europe? Is he in Asia? Is he moving around? Where is he?
I have no idea. I've never asked him, and I still don't know, Karen.
Okay. Do you really have no idea, or you refuse to share where he is?
I have no idea. I have my suspicions, but I've never asked him because I didn't want to have to lie to anyone who asks me that question. So I never asked.
But are you able to communicate with him by phone?
Oh, yeah. Yes,
Okay.
really. Regular.
You are.
Yes.
Ano ba to? Regular phone? Satellite phone? Mahirap po yan.
Oh, no. I'm using my cell phone. Regular phone then.
So you are. Okay. So you are regularly in touch, so to speak. Is that
Yes,
fair?
I am.
All right.
That's correct.
Now, the president said that a lawyer of ZALDY CO approached, I guess Malacanang, approached us and tried to blackmail us by saying that if we don't cancel his passport, he will stop releasing videos. Did you or anyone from ZALDY CO's team approach Malacanang or the president's office?
No, I did not. I don't know anyone in that office. But let me clarify that off the bat, no? Because I got the messages for comment from the press yesterday, and I immediately reacted. And then a friend of mine, a close friend of mine from law school, asked me, "Is he alluding to you?" And I realized, oh, nga, I was not named, so maybe I acted prematurely. So let me say that if the palace was alluding to me, I did not approach the president or any of his men.
All right.
If it wasn't me, I'm sorry.
Does ZALDY CO have another lawyer in the Philippines?
Not to my knowledge, which is another reason why I reacted that way. Because as far as I know, I'm the only lawyer outside of my firm. Of course, other lawyers in my firm are also engaged, but none of them would do that, and none of them did do that.
So nobody approached the president or Malacanang blackmailing him, asking not to cancel his passport.
No, it's a ridiculous proposition because neither of us have anything to bargain for. I don't have the videos. I have no control over content. I have no control over the timing of the release. The palace doesn't have control over the passport cancellation. That's the prerogative of Sandigan Bayan. But why would two parties bargain over something, over two entities, two items that they don't control? It doesn't make sense. So I would only assume that he was misinformed. I certainly didn't call him directly. I don't know how. I don't know him. He doesn't know me.
Okay, to set the record straight right now, charges have been filed against ZALDY CO. There's an order to cancel his passport, but has his passport been canceled?
As of yesterday at close of business, Karen, I have not received any order to cancel his passport. In fact, one of the divisions at the Sandigan Bayan, the 5th, I think, sent an order giving us 5 days to comment to the motion to cancel the passport. The 5 days have not commenced to run.
Now, is ZALDY CO even using his Philippine passport to travel? Because if he is, the irony is it would be easy to find him anywhere he is in the world. Because by getting data from his passport, you would know where it was stamped. You would see entry points. So gamit po ba niya ang Philippine passport niya? Or does ZALDY CO have another passport?
I don't know. I assume that gamit niya yung passport niya. And I agree with the rest of your question. Easy for him to be tracked if he is using, if he's using his passport. I don't know if he has another passport.
All right.
I have no reason to believe that he does.
Okay, because if he's using his Philippine passport, then frankly speaking, the Philippine authorities would have known where he was already weeks from now, months from now.
I guess, yeah. I don't know how their intel network works, but I guess, yeah. I would agree with you.
Because you'd have to stamp the passport at an entry point.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Right. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about the videos of ZALDY CO. How many videos will he be releasing?
I don't know. I speculate that there are more. And the basis of that speculation is that from our conversations, I know the entire story. And what has been released isn't isn't complete. I don't know whether he intends to release others, but I know there are more stories to tell. Now, also, I think he did say at the last video yesterday that he has others. He did confirm this. I haven't sat down really to listen to the video, but I remember hearing that he has other statements to make.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I assume.
All right. Now, the first one, let's talk about this, is ZALDY CO had photos of maletas, no, with
Yes.
dates on them. So, you've seen how netizens react. Ang tanong nila is, how do you know that it actually has money inside? How do you know it was actually delivered to the address or the person he claims? Does he have more regarding that particular expose?
I think so, because when I first saw the evidence, I was convinced. Of course, he told me that there was cash inside the suitcases. I didn't peek inside the suitcases. So I assume yes, because I remember being convinced. And I believe him. I believe him, first and foremost. If you refuse to believe him, there's nothing I can say or do to change your mind.
But what do you mean, sir, that you didn't peek inside the suitcases? By the time you came in, the money would allegedly have been delivered already.
Correct.
So you would have to see photos or videos of ZALDY CO opening the suitcases to prove there's money inside.
Correct.
Nakita niyo po ba yun, sir?
No, I was speaking figuratively. Kasi I didn't see any photos of open suitcases either.
But does he have those photos?
I didn't see any. I don't know if he does, but I didn't see any.
But is ZALDY CO really able to prove that that amount of money that he claims was really delivered to former Speaker Martin Romualdez or to President Marcos Jr.? Does he have enough evidence?
He does. Yes. That's
And what kind of evidence would that be? Is it a photograph of a person receiving the money? Is it a person signing it? Is it a recorded message?
Well, you've seen the photograph, so he has photographic evidence. He has documentary evidence. He's got receipts. And he's got testimonial evidence. Of course, people are saying, and they are correct, that his statements are not admissible in a court of law at this time. But once he goes under oath, then it would be admissible. So yes, he has testimonial evidence. He will have testimonial evidence.
So you believe he has enough evidence. So ang tanong ng marami, sir, considering how explosive his expose is, why isn't it that he's gone to any Philippine embassy, had his testimony notarized, made it into a formal affidavit? Why isn't he doing this just yet?
He doesn't have to just yet. Because people have to understand, he's not trying to initiate a judicial proceeding. He just wants to, remember what he said in the first video, sana hindi ako mamatay bago masabi ko sa inyo lahat. So the closest analogy I can give you, without going into without going into the details, is it's a dead man's declaration. Here's a declaration of someone who fears impending death, and hopefully it's admissible later just in case something happens to him, because he really fears that that his life is at risk. Now, that is admissible as evidence later if something does happen to him. But for purposes of initiating judicial proceeding, no, it is not enough. Is it sufficient to initiate a criminal investigation, which is the prior stage? No. Yes, it is.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be under oath.
So it means this is part of a legal strategy.
No, he did this on his own. That he said that I'm afraid I'm going to get killed anytime now, so the people should know. I mean, if only to clear my name, to the extent that it will work to that effect.
Okay, Attorney Rondain, am I right to presume that wherever ZALDY CO is in the world right now, there is a lawyer with him?
I don't know, but I would hope so.
Okay, you are not aware. Who is with him? Is his wife with him? Are his kids with him? Is anyone giving him advice? I mean, clearly on how he's writing it, he's not recording all of this in a day.
I assume not. I assume that he is not. But I am not helping him. Like I said, I
You
have
are
no control
not
over
helping
content.
him.
No.
You
No,
are
if I were
not.
helping him, the presentation would be more logical, more chronological. Tama naman yung observation ng iba, na patalon-talon, iba from 25 to 24 to 23 to 25. I wouldn't have done it that way. There would be less questions if I had done it my way. But that just goes to show that I had no hand in it.
Okay, but essentially, he is your client. What kind of
Yes.
advice are you giving him, attorney?
I'm telling him what his exposures are. I'm telling him what his options are. I'm telling him what the law is, what the consequences of what he will say are, what the consequences of what they say are, things like that. But I'm also giving him a general overview and a general strategic line, but I can't discuss those with you, Karen.
Oh, okay. Now, let's start with his first video. In his first video, he says essentially that former Speaker Martin Romualdez asked him not to come home and claims that the president would protect him. Do you remember? This was in the
Yes.
first video, right? In the first few series. Does he have text messages, phone recordings to prove that the former speaker really called him?
I don't remember if he has. I don't think he has recordings. Text. I think so. I think so, no? Because
Okay.
he showed me the evidence piecemeal. I didn't see a whole batch. I remember that there were text messages. Yes. Not
Okay.
sure. I'm not completely sure.
Oo. So, yun, totoo yun. Now, does ZALDY CO remember Orly Guteza? Did he
Yes.
hear that testimony? Did he say anything about Guteza's testimony?
He basically validated, I don't know if he heard the whole thing. I'm not sure if I heard the whole thing, but he basically validated what Mr. Guteza said.
He
Because
said it
he
was
said
true.
so. Yeah,
Oo.
he said so in one of the videos. Guteza was tasked to make the deliveries with his two other EAs, Paul and Mark.
Okay, so he stands by that. So he says Guteza was telling the truth.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. Now, he also, what was another explosive conversation was allegedly Budget Secretary Mina Pangandaman calling him, saying the president wants 100 billion pesos worth of projects inserted. Nandun si Yusek Adrian, alam na niya yun, di ba? Tapos tinawagan daw niya si Speaker, sabi ni Speaker, ganun talaga. In effect,
Yes.
the president gets what he wants. Kumbaga, ZALDY CO gave a whole conversation of it, right?
Yes.
So the palace has denied this. Why would the president need to insert through the BICAM? Why not through the NEP? Did you ask ZALDY CO about this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Because I was curious. That was a fair question. No? He said because if they had put it in the NEP, it would have been very obvious that infrastructure was exceeding education, which would have been unconstitutional. And he also said na edi halatang-halata sila if they put it in the NEP. Because in the insertion, it would have been hidden.
Okay. Now, Attorney Rondain, what many felt was a weakness in his testimony was when he said, wala akong kinuha dito. ZALDY CO made himself appear that he was innocent, that he was not inserting, he didn't get a kickback.
Yes.
I'm sure you caught that. What was
Yes.
your reaction to that? Why did he have to add that?
Again, Karen, I have no control over content. So, as I've said before, I let my witnesses tell their story. But I know what you're trying to say, na it diminishes his credibility. But, see, I've explained this before. In the world of public opinion, where hard evidence doesn't matter, di ba? It's sufficient for us to speculate and to surmise that if this then that. That's fine. But I don't live in that world. I live in a world where only hard evidence matters. So I'm not diminishing the value of public opinion, but I don't have that luxury when I'm working a case. So If you're asking me, it's not believable. Oh, sige, in the world of public opinion, it's not believable. I get it. That's your opinion. You don't believe. But in the world where I live, in the world where courts function under rules of evidence, that's enough for me.
Okay.
And it should be for everyone as well.
But is ZALDY CO saying he did not get a kickback from the 100 billion, but it didn't
Categorically.
mean he wasn't inserting and getting kickbacks elsewhere? Would that be fair?
It's not an issue yet, so I would not answer that. Now, if they have proof, or if anyone is willing to accuse him, then that's another story. We'll get to that. Again, in my world, we're talking about evidence, not speculation.
All right. Now, Senator Ping Lacson has spoken and said that the president knew nothing about it. In effect, he said the undersecretaries were on their own, collecting for the president, in effect, asking for insertions using the president's name. What are your thoughts on that? And did ZALDY CO have a reaction to that?
No, we haven't spoken about that, but here we go again. Let me wear different hats. No, in the world of public opinion, I get it, but I don't play politics. I play lawyer. If you want me to play lawyer, and with respect to Senator Lacson, he's not competent because he's not with the president 24 hours a day. You see the distinction?
Okay.
Wala ka naman dun eh. How do you know? How can you certify the action, the overt actions, or the state of mind of a person you were not with when it happened?
Tanong ko lang, Attorney Rondain, the alleged deliveries to Malacanang, right?
Yes.
Both Yusek Bernardo has his own version, and then ZALDY CO has his own version as well. Would ZALDY CO be able to name people who allegedly accepted the cash, the money, the maletas?
Yes, he would. I don't remember if he has, but I know that he will be able to if he hasn't already. Yes.
Okay.
He has receipts.
Yes,
remember. Yes, and he made the personal delivery, remember? He said 1 billion.
But what kind of receipts would this be? Like an acknowledgement receipt?
Yes.
A signature? Paano po yun, sir?
Acknowledgement receipt, yes.
At na nakalagay doon na parang ilang maleta, ilang bilyon, tas may pipirmang tao?
Yes. Nakita ko.
Nakita po ninyo yon.
Yes.
At yung taong ito, malinaw kung kaninong lagda po yun?
I don't remember that. But again, I have to believe my client. He said, ito was received for this, ito was received for that. So I have to believe him. Credibility na lang, no? Whether we believe him or not under the rules of court.
Okay. Now, does ZALDY CO in any way, in doing all of this, does he actually want to be a witness against Martin Romualdez or against the president? Is that the end goal here?
I don't think he wants to be a witness. I don't think he wants to volunteer to be a witness. But if someone is summoned by subpoena, he has no choice.
Okay.
But eventually, when he testifies, when he wants to give his defense, he has to testify.
All right. Now, does ZALDY CO plan to evade arrest? So I want to ask you this. I think right now, is he on blue notice? I'm sure you...
I don't know.
Okay, you're not aware. So if a warrant of arrest is issued against him, which it has been, so the government would most likely ask the cooperation of the Interpol or the assistance of the Interpol. Ano po ba ang plano ni ZALDY CO? There are some individuals who have actually presented themselves to the embassy. John Vic Remulla told me, like, I think SunWest employees, merong nasa New Zealand, may nasa New York, they presented themselves, they surrendered. Will ZALDY CO present himself, surrender, and come home, or he plans to evade arrest?
At this time, give me a chance to fight it. Give me a chance to fight the warrants of arrest, because I've always maintained that the charges or the cases should not have been filed because of walang probable cause. So give me a chance to fight that. Let's not discuss the merits because I can't. They're already in court, the cases. That's not evading arrest. That's enforced. That's exercising your rights to resist. If you're asking in the context of whether he will fight it physically, he will not. He's not going to shoot it out with anyone.
So you think physically he won't be surrendering himself and he won't come home?
No, because I don't want him to waive our options at this time.
And by doing
feeling
this,
ko, without going into the merits, no? Ang feeling ko, unwarranted yung warrant of arrest. But give me a chance to argue that.
okay, ang tanong ko lang, Attorney Rondain, under the law at this point, would he be considered a fugitive already?
No, he would not, because he didn't flee the jurisdiction to escape a prosecution.
Oh, so hindi pa. So kapag let's say ito,
Again, Karen, we're getting dangerously close to sub judice, no? So
okay.
let's not talk about the merits of the case.
Okay. Kasi I think just for the public to remember, the warrant was issued in relation to a project in Mindoro that was allegedly substandard and that SunWest was the contractor. ZALDY CO is the founder of SunWest. The government claims they've proven that there were links still between SunWest, the company itself, the project, and ZALDY CO. Your thoughts on that?
It's public knowledge that he divested when he was elected as congressman, or shortly thereafter. I'm not sure about the timing. So he is no longer a stockholder. He has no pecuniary interest in SunWest. I've said that before, so it cannot be sub judice. So no, the government is wrong. He does not derive any benefit from any SunWest contract, and he cannot therefore be liable for any wrong that might have been committed, which I don't concede. He's not criminally liable for any wrong that SunWest might have committed. That's as far as I can go.
Oo. Tinatanong Attorney Rondain ng ilan kung ba't nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob si ZALDY CO magsalita. You said it's a dead man's testimony. You have a point there, right? It's a dead man's testimony.
Yes.
But is there a political bloc that has already approached him, right? Are there sectors that are powerful, that are backing him up right now, that has given him this level of confidence?
No, categorically, no. No one has approached him. He hasn't made the deal with anyone who's doing this on his own out of fear of impending death.
Does ZALDY CO plan to wait it out until the next elections?
No, the strategy is purely legal. We'll fight this out legally, and that shouldn't be affected by anything political. Doesn't matter who's sitting in Malacanang.
Okay, so purely legal, but then when it comes to purely legal, he will do it from abroad.
To the extent that I can protect him from an unlawful incarceration, an unjust incarceration, yes.
All right. Now, Attorney Rondain, from former Speaker Martin Romualdez to President Marcos Jr., ZALDY CO now moves to the whole family. He mentions now Congressman Sandro Marcos. He implicates the First Lady, the First Lady's brother in a rice and onion cartel. I mean, does this help ZALDY CO at all? It seems to be already a testimony just against the whole family.
It's a testimony of the truth. So, let the chips fall where they
All right. Now, does he have proof? For example, right?
Oh,
he
yeah.
says, he does. Because he says this may be painful to hear, but this is the truth. The first family itself is involved in these corrupt systems. From the president to the first lady, they are the ones who dictate, etc., etc. Meron ba siyang pruweba na halimbawa ang first lady involved doon sa cartel?
Yes, nakita ko na. Text messages. Nakita ko yun. I remember.
Okay. So clearly, you have ZALDY CO who's preserved text messages, requests, ang mga utos. Nasa kanya lahat ito, sir.
The request utos, di ako sure, no? Again, Karen, I saw yung evidence ng na hindi complete, pero labo-labo, let me say that.
Okay.
So I didn't memorize each and every one, but yung general effect, yung overall effect sa akin, okay, this part is proven, this part is proven, this part is proven.
Now, ZALDY CO also claims that in a span of, I'm presuming, 3 years from the time President Marcos was voted into office, he says he has allegedly given a total of 50 billion. Tama ba ito, sir?
50, yes, 50 plus.
52 to 56 billion pesos.
Something like that.
Right? Kasi ang sabi po niya, ang utos is mag-release, mag-deliver ng 2 billion pesos a month. Minsan hindi daw po nabubuo.
Correct.
Right? Ang sabi
Correct.
niya. So, I'm presuming kasi the land bank releases money, right? Coming from the hearings, the land bank will release cash, and then from the cash, it's given right away to the project contractor or proponent, the DPWH. Kasi buo mag-release eh. Tama, attorney,
Okay.
no?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Hindi ko
All right.
alam yung procedure.
How can ZALDY CO prove that it has reached over 50 billion, the alleged deliveries to the former speaker and the president's family?
Oh, I can only surmise that it's simple arithmetic. He has records, so he just added item 1 to item 2 to item 3, etc.
Oo. So, yun na po yun. Parang may records po siya.
Yes.
Oo. Would ZALDY CO's proof be as strong as the evidence against Janet Napoles, linking Jinggoy Estrada, linking Bong Revilla? Do you remember this? Of course,
No,
eventually it was dismissed, but but at the end of the day, it was enough to convict.
I can't tell you because I'm not familiar with the evidence in the Napoles cases. This is what I'm saying. You know, I have my speculations, but I don't know the actual evidence submitted and considered by the court. So I can't answer your question, sorry.
All right. Now, sir, is ZALDY CO at any point willing to testify under oath or under a congressional inquiry in the Philippines? Will that ever happen, even if they assure him security and fairness?
I don't know. Yes, hypothetically, the answer is yes. That's a short answer. But I don't know how they can assure him of his safety. Absolute, because I've always said that if you incarcerate him, number one, that's unjust. No, you can't put an innocent man in jail even for a day. Number two, if you have no absolute and total control over the environment, how do you do that? I mean, we all know that people get killed in jail. People get killed in jail while being served a warrant in jail by the police. So, in common experience will tell us that 100% guarantee of safety is not realistic. So that's my only apprehension.
Now, how does ZALDY CO respond to criticisms that his accusations, his video was timed before the INC rally? So at that point, no.
I don't know. I have no control over timing, but it doesn't sound logical to me because hindi naman siya INC eh. And like I said, wala namang political motivations yung ginagawa niya eh. Hasn't spoken with anyone, not the INC, not with whoever will benefit from a change of government, not anyone, I assure you.
So he has not spoken with anyone. But Attorney Rondain, last question na lang po ito, no?
Right.
Is the accusations that technically what he's doing right now is already destabilizing the government.
I read a very nice commentary. I think it was Alex Magno who said that you cannot equate that legitimate dissent with destabilization. Diba, if there are serious accusations, sagutin mo. Don't say destabilization because it reminds me of Mussolini. Eh. If you're not with me, you're my enemy. That's not the form of government that we contracted for. We bargained for a Republican government where everyone has a right to dissent. And you can't be branded a destabilizer just because you don't agree or just because you blow the whistle.
Okay.
Let's not throw that term around conveniently because pangit eh.
Now, the hard part with ZALDY CO himself is he's not exactly the most innocent man in the room either, right? I mean, Attorney Rondain, when all of this was going on, he was a conspirator because he was doing the inserting, he was doing the delivery himself. So it makes him as guilty.
Sorry about that. Did you hear that?
Go ahead, sir. Did you hear me?
He's a conspirator?
Oo, in effect, ZALDY CO wouldn't be the most effective. He's not the most innocent player in this whole scenario because in effect, he's a conspirator. He's an enabler. He's a partaker. For this to all happen, him delivering the money, him inserting, him putting in the projects, kasama po siya sa krimen. Tama po yun.
Yung insertion is not illegal in itself. I've always maintained that. Everyone does it. Ang crime is yung insertion for the purpose of profiting from it and getting a kickback. Diba? He was part of the insertion, but he wasn't part of the kickback.
Yeah, but are we saying now that only other people received the kickback? ZALDY CO never did?
He certainly didn't receive a kickback from the 100 million. So if we're talking about something else, and that's another story. We'll have that conversation separately.
Okay, so that's what you are stressing. No
Yes,
kickback from the 100 billion peso request, allegedly of the president, but you're not saying wala siyang kickback sa ibang bagay.
Because there is no such accusation na merong ibang bagay. Now, was he complicit? Yes, you can say that. I've said this also, that his fault is that he had no strength to resist it. He was overwhelmed by fear, I guess. Boss niya yun eh. So, inutusan siya. So,
or could it be pwede rin ba, Attorney Rondain, that he was overwhelmed with the money himself too? I mean, just to balance the conversation, ZALDY CO has, he's also living in the lap of luxury. You're talking about excessive wealth, apartments in Paris, private planes, right? I mean,
No. I don't know about an apartment in Paris, but he doesn't have a private plane. These are owned by corporations in which he has stock. So he's living a lavish life? I don't know. But if he is, he certainly earned it. Remember, the declared net worth when he first sat as a congressman was 4.1 billion. So, did he get it from government? No. That's a categorical no.
Okay. So, ang sinasabi nyo, mayaman na siya nung bago siya pumunta ng gobyerno. May pera na po siya noon.
Yes.
Ganun yun. Oo, parang bilyonaryo na siya noon.
Yes, four times over. 4.1 billion.
Okay. But I think to clarify, you're not saying actually that ZALDY CO did not receive kickbacks from anything else.
There's no such accusation, Karen. Give me an accusation and I'll react.
All right. Okay. I think to move forward, you have no control over his content, but in the end, the president, the power of the government is already focused on bringing him back home. I think to close, what would your last statement be today?
Well, give me a chance to fight it out, because you can't expect someone who is unjustly accused, as far as he's concerned, to just surrender because there's a public clamor, umuwi ka, swear to an affidavit. It doesn't work that way. Give me a chance to defend him, to avail of all the remedies available, legal remedies available, just as I would for any of you who might be my client in the future. I'll fight tooth and nail to exhaust all the legal remedies as well. Be patient. There's a process. And this is
yan ang banatero, walang inuurungan. Pag tama palakpakan, pag mali ay babanatan. Yan ang banateros, boses ng ordinaryong Pilipino. Banateros ay walang makakaawan, walang inuurungan. Banateros ay tinutulungan.